Hello, dear students. Very good evening to all. I welcome you all to our educational institute, which is Sri Brahmadev Classes of Excellent Education. So, I will discuss the first lecture of mathematics. As you all know, that our institute is ready to serve the aspirant who are preparing for academic as well as the competitive aptitude. So along with this, we will also educate them to inbuild their personality development along with the teaching skills, which will improve their skills as well as overall personalities. So here we recommend you all to join our institute for your overall process along with the future endeavors. All right. So today for the first lecture of mathematics, I will start mathematics of class 10th from basic specific. We will move, and there are many questions in our competitive exams are asked from class 10th mathematics book, or we can also say that class 9th and 10th or the elementary classes knowledge is very useful for attempt of these mathematical sums. All right, we are here to skill up your abilities of 10th, 11th, and along with 12th. So what are the implementation of 11th, 12th classes in our competitive education? So in view of it, we have just started general mathematics and advanced mathematics module for the mathematics improvement or mathematical conceptual along with the numerical ability. So in the behalf of it, today I will guide you for the chapter 1, which is real number, and some of the properties related to the real numbers. I hope you will definitely find useful this lecture for your upgrading knowledge. I will also believe that this lecture will be useful for your competitive aptitude and will help you to gain good marks in the exam. So let's start without wasting our time. All right. So I am going to upload the PDF. You can also see that. All right. So we have come with our PDF for uploading. All right, it's uploaded. So as you can all see that our first topic of mathematics is real numbers. All right, so I will take color this one. So here we will understand about the basic real numbers and the advanced processes of the real numbers. What are the provements and what are the derivations which are coming in the real numbers chapter. All right, so today we will discuss the real numbers. It is the first lecture for the mathematics portion. Going to the next slide. In this chapter we will study about the real numbers. Basically, in real numbers we will also study about the the overview. All right, just a second. The overview of it. It is not working. All right, that's not the problem. So we will study about the overview, or we will study about the introduction of the real numbers, basically in the first step, and in the second step we will introduce what are the real numbers, and in the third step I will go to the divisibility rules of the real numbers. All right, and the most important topic of this chapter is, just a second, the most important topic of the chapter is Euclid division. All right, this is the Euclid division, which is very important in the concept of the real numbers, or in the concept of understanding the real numbers. I will highlight it with the highlighter. This will be very important for you. All right, Euclid division is very important for you. So in this chapter we also know about Euclid mathematician. Who is it? Who is he? Sorry, who is he? And we will also know about the basic properties of Euclid division, which is used in the solving of different types of divisibility conditions, or satisfaction of different properties along with the provements. All right, so Euclid introduction. In this section we will understand about who is Euclid and what did he do for the improvement of real numbers, and what are his theory. All right, in the next section we will discuss the different provement of the Euclid division lemma and the other basic provements based on the Euclid division lemma. I will tell one most important thing is, if we see this chapter real numbers, we will find this chapter is roaming along with the, or we can say this chapter is roaming around the numbers, the divisibility rules, the basic properties of divisibility, or the real numbers, what are the whole numbers, what are the odd numbers, and those numbers which are categorized into the different categories. All right, we will also educate to this. All right, after that, the most important thing is Euclid division lemma, or the Euclid properties which he gave, we will use in this chapter for solving the different types of questions. All right, so moving to the next slide. All right, so here is the basic information about this chapter. In this chapter, you will learn about the real numbers. All right, and their different divisibility rules, along with some of the provements of integers and relations among them. All right, so in this chapter, as I said, that we will discuss the real numbers properties, what are real numbers and what are their properties, and different types of divisibility rules of real numbers. That is, what is the divisibility rule of 1, what is the divisibility rule of 2, what is the divisibility rule of 3, 4, 5, and so on up to the divisibility rule of 11. All right, we will discuss here the divisibility rule of 11, not more than 11, because if we are moving more than 11th digit, we will find that 12 is the multiple of 4 and 3. So when we calculate the divisibility, or we can say when we are going through the divisibility rule of 12, it is the multiple of 3 and 4. So the divisibility rule of 3 and 4 will be applied in the divisibility rule of 12. Are you getting my point? All right. I I can suppose that you all are getting. I am not using that much English that you cannot make understand of the concept what am I speaking here. So whenever it's needed, I will justify in the topic so you can easily understand what am I speaking. All right. So here is most important one, the Euclid lemma. All right. So there are different types of properties of the Euclid lemma. Euclid mathematician gave that. He is a Greek mathematician. Along with the Euclid lemma, he have also proposed many of the theories. All right. So in this chapter, we will only include those theories which are helpful in expressing the real numbers. So we will say, let's start the topic. All right. In the first section, as you all know, that we will discuss the divisibility rules. In the previous academic classes, you all know you have learnt about the basic divisibility rules of the numbers. Along with this, I would like to say that those terms, those topics which are helpful in the competitive aptitude or the exams, I will go through every of their topic. All right. So before explaining the divisibility rules of the real number, I would like to discuss here what are real numbers. Any of you can tell what is the real number? Any idea about the real numbers? Good evening, beta. So we can also see that the real numbers numbers are those digits which are negative integers as well as positive integers. Alright, including the zero. All those integers which are negative as well as positive are called real numbers. So if we are discussing the examples of the real number, it will be -4, -3, -2, 0, +1, +2, +3 up to so on. Those are the real numbers. Or we can also say that all those digits which can be represented on the number line are called real numbers. They may also be fractions along with the integers which are positive or negative, including 0. So we can say those digits which can be represented on the number line are called real numbers. So we are discussing only real numbers. All of you have uh, also learnt about the different types of categories about that. If we are discussing here, those the topic will be left. So we will not. I will discuss these in the short terms, and if we are discussing the whole numbers are those numbers which are the natural numbers and the zero is including in that. So if we are talking about the representation or the digital form, we can say that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. All these terms or the digits are termed as whole number. When 0 is including in our numbers, not taking the negative integers, then this set will be termed as the set of whole numbers. Are you getting? When we will only taking the 0 and the positive numbers, then this set will be the whole numbers. Alright, just a second. Hello, there is a technical error in the video. Sorry for the interruption. Alright, so divisibility rule, when we are saying about the concept of divisibility rules, we have first know that we have to first know that what are the different types of categories of the real number, which is real numbers and which is whole numbers, what are the composite number, what are the prime numbers, what are the even numbers, odd numbers, and all that. So we can say we can say before the divisibility rules, we have to know about these terms, what are these different types of categories of the numbers. It will be helpful in categorization of different types of set when we will discuss the set theory after that. So here I will not brought this topic going to the divisibility rules. What are divisibility rules? The rules which are used in the division of any numbers are called divisibility rules or the rule of division. Alright. All the rules which are helpful for us in the division process is known as divisibility rules. If we see the divisibility rule of 1, all the digits, all the numbers are divisible by 1 because the 1 is the common factor of every number. So if we are discussing the divisibility rule of 1, we find that every of number is divisible by 1. Or I will also improve this term as every of the digit is divisible by 1 and every of the digit is divisible by itself. Alright. When for an example, we can also say that if we are dividing 16, alright, 16, so 16, if we see set 16's factor, then the 1 is the ultimate factor, and along with this 16 is also the factor of 16. Are you understanding the point? So 1 is the ultimate divisibility conditions of every number. In the second term, we will discuss what is the divisibility rule of 2. So divisibility rule of 2, if we see this, we will find all those numbers which are even are divisible by 2 because 2 is the divisible numbers of even numbers, or we can also say that 2 is the even number. All those even numbers which are divisible by 2 are its factor. So moving to the next divisibility rule, 3 or 9. Before this, I will also include here one statement that along with the positive even numbers or negative even numbers, those cannot be seen. So if we see that all those terms which are having 0 at the end are also divisible by 2. Suppose that taking a number, we are taking a number here. Alright, just a second. Here we are taking 600, or we can also say that 680. So the number 680 include a 0 in the last digit. So 2, if we divide it by 2, then what will we find? That it is completely divisible by 2, and the resultant will be 3, 4, 0. Alright. It is completely divisible by 2. So every of the digit which include 0 in the last digit, last number, are divisible by 2, and all those values which are even are also divisible by 2. These are completely divisible by 2. Alright. If we are saying that what is the divisibility rule of 3, we will find that the digit or the digital sum of those numbers which are divisible by 3, we can say the digit or the number will also be divisible or completely divisible by 3. The same rule follows in the digit 9's rule of divisibility. So we can say, if we are taking a number, just a second, if we are taking a number here in the divisibility rule of 3, we can say that we are taking a number 2646. So we can say that if the divisibility of 3 we can check, then we have to calculate the digital sum of these digits. This its digital sum will be, alright, just a second, its digital term will be 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2 plus 6, alright, plus 4, plus 6, and the resultant will be 18. Alright. So if we use this number for the divisibility rule of 3, we find that the digital sum of this number is 18, and 18 is divisible by 3. If we check for 9, the 18 sum is also divisible by 9. So if we are checking for 3, the same rule will be applied for the divisibility rule of 9. That's why I have included 3 or 9 in the same rule. Is it okay for that? Alright. Moving to the next one, you can check all those numbers which are divisible by 3 on your basis for your revision. Alright. Moving to the next one, divisibility rule of 4. If we are talking about the divisibility rule of 4, we will find that if the number which include the last two digit, if divisible by 4, the number will be divisible by 4. Alright. I have said that if the divisibility rule of 4 is checked, we will find that if the number have the last two digits which are divisible by 4, the number will also be divisible by 4. As we are taking here one number, alright, as we are taking here a number 1112. So we have to just see the last two digits, which are 1 and 2. If 1 and 2 are divisible by 4, we are checking for 4. So I will include the divisibility sign here. If we are checking for 4, we have to say that 1 and 2, if divisible by 4, the number whole number will also be completely divisible by 4. So this rule applies for the digit 4 as a divisibility rule. If we are checking for, just a second, if we are checking here for 8, the 8 condition is that if the numbers, the last 3 digits, if we are taking a number, the last 3 digits, if divisible by 8, there is an air sound because the atmosphere is going cloudy, and I thought it will rain. Alright, it will be rain. So no problem in that. We will study and we will not concentrate in that other factors which are obstructing us. Alright. So focus on your topic. If we are taking the number which include the 4 digits such as 24, 24. So here, if we check for 8, if we check for 8, so we have just watched that, we have to just watch that 4 to 4 is divisible by 8 or not. If it is divisible, then the number will also be divisible. I am here taking the smaller number for, because this is the first class and you could not be bored. Alright. So if we are taking 3 numbers, those will divisible by 8, so the whole number will also be divisible by 8. This condition satisfied for the divisibility rule of 8. Alright, so we have just discussed the divisibility rule of 4. In that case, we will check the last 2 digits, but in the case of 8, we have to check the 3 digits whether it is divisible by 8 or not. The number will be completely divisible by 8. If not, it will not be completely divisible by 8. So going to the next slide, the remaining digits divisibility rule we will discuss. In the divisibility rule of 6, the 6 divisibility rule is very simple. If we, alright, this is the same color which is on the slide, so we will change it. Just a second, we will. Alright. So if we have taken the divisibility rule of 6, if we see the divisibility rule of 6, we will find that we will find that all those digits which are having the last digit as 6 are divisible by the 6. So please concentrate. If the divisibility rule of 6, we will discuss that if we are seeing the divisibility rule of 6, the digits, the numbers which are ending with the digit 6 are completely divisible by number 6. For an example, we can say I am taking the example that 1336 1336 divisible by 6. So in this condition, I will bold it. In this condition, if we will see the last digit, we will find it is 6, and when we will divide it by 6, then it will be completely divisible. In the resultant, we will get 2. After that, sorry, it is not divisible by 6 because the last digit is 6, but here it will not work. So the another condition of checking it, if the digit is divisible by 2 or 3, if the divisibility rule of 2 and 3 follows in a number, the sixth rule of divisibility is applied there, will be applied there. Alright, if we are taking 216 as a number which is divisible by 6, so we can find that this number will be completely divisible by 6 because 6 is divisible by 2 and the digit of this number will be divisible by 3. So the digit the two numbers divisibility rule, the 2 and 3 are also followed here. So we can say the number will be completely divisible by 6, and in the resultant we will find 3, and after that we will find that in the carry 3 and it is 36. Alright, so this number is completely divisible by 6. And if we are talking about the 7, I will take this in the last because this is the divisibility rule of confusion. So this concept we will take in the next section, in the last section. Before that, I will discuss the divisibility rule of 5 and the divisibility rule of 11. In the divisibility rule of 5, just a second. In the divisibility rule of 5, we have just learned in the previous classes that if a digit which has 0 in the last digit, and if number include 5 as the last digit, it will also be divisible by 5. So the two conditions are there. If the number include 0 in the last, and if the number ends with the 5 digit or digit 5, so the whole number will be divisible by 5. Alright, are you satisfying? So if we take the example of a digit, a number which is for 5 divisibility rule, to check it we have just taken a 0505 number and I will check for 5. So it have included as 5 a number which is the last digit. So the resultant will be 101. And if we are taking that 5050 as a number which is divisible by 5, that it will be, then it will also be completely divisible by 5, and the resultant will be 1010. So all those numbers which are having 0 as the last digit, and those numbers which are having the last digit as 5, all those numbers will be divisible by 5. So in this case, if the number is 5 and 0, it will be divisible by 5. About the divisibility rule of 11, we will find that if the sum of the even and odd number will be 11 or 0, so the number will also be divisible by 11. Alright. If the numbers sum and odd digits are in a multiple of 11, or the negation of the sum of odd places and the sum of even places is 0, then the number will also be divisible by 11. Alright. So we are taking an example for rectifying it. So if we are taking an example for its checking, for its check, we can say that we are taking a number 1 to 1. Alright. So here we are checking for 11. So I have just discussed that we have to calculate the even and odd places sum. So for the even numbers, the sum is 2, and for the odd numbers, just a second, it is missing. For the odd numbers, the sum is also 2, because 1 in the ones place, 1 in the ones place, and 1 in the hundredths place is equals to 2. So that whole negation of these two sum will be 0. The negation, or we can also say that subtraction of these numbers or these sums is equals to 0. So this will be divisible, or we can say this will completely divisible by 11. So in this condition, we have to check that sum of the odd and even numbers is 0 or not, and we will also see that if the digital sum or digital subtraction is in the multiple of 11, those numbers will be completely divisible by 11. Are you getting the 11th divisibility rule? So if these conditions are not satisfying, suppose that the numbers of the sum are not in the multiple of 11, so in that case the number will not be completely divisible by 11, or the divisibility rule of 11 will not be applied in that number or that digital number. So all of you have just one step of completing all those numbers which are completely divisible by the real numbers of that. Alright, we have just discussed division 3, 4, 5, 6 and 11. So the one most important thing, divisibility rule of 7. If we are checking the divisibility rule of 7, guys, we will find that any number who is which is divisible by 7. If we see the table of 7 and and taking a number which is divisible by 7, suppose that 35. So here we will find that when we will divide 35 the number to 7, so here we will find that the resultant of this number, this division, will be 5. 5 7 ja 35. So I want to say that in the digit 35, we have to check that if the digital subtraction of those numbers which are resulting in 2, it will be divisible by 7. There is a term I will not discuss here because this term will be playing a abstraction in your mind for the divisibility rule of 7. So I will not discuss here the concept behind the number. The term will be discussed because this is important thing we will discuss here, and those are abstract from the topic we will not discuss here. I will tell, I will not neglect that. I will definitely tell here. So the concept we will have to understand here. So the concept is, in if we see the 35 number, the abstraction or the subtraction of this number will be 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3. The ones and the tenth place is subtracted and it is equals to 2. So if the digital subtraction from ones place to tenth place is equals to 2, then it will be completely divisible by 7. It will be completely divisible by 7. So all those digits which are all those digits which are all those digits which are completely divisible by 7 gives the digital subtraction as 2. Are you getting my point? All those numbers which are divisible by 7 gets an abstract as 2. It will be plus 2 or minus 2 depending on the condition. So by the 7th divisibility rule or the rule of digit 7, we have just find that if the divisibility rule of 7 follows in the number, the justification of this is First of all, we have to check that the digital subtraction is giving us 2 as a digit. It will negative or positive. It will not be, but it should be 2. If it is coming 2, then the number will be divisible by 7. Taking one more example for your confusion clearing. Alright, one more example here is 4. Alright, if from 7, we will find that this digit is divisible by 7 and gives us a resultant 6. Alright, and if we are checking for the obstruent for 7 for this number, alright, not 7, for this number 42, we will find that 2, we have to subtract 1's place from the 10th place. Of in this subtraction, 2 minus by, and the abstract is going to be minus 2, because 2 is less than 4, so the resultant will be minus 2, sorry, minus 2. So here in this condition, we have taking as a resultant of minus 2. So in this condition, we have just see that the number is 2 plus 2, and in this condition, the obstruction is minus 2. So these two very just a second. These two are the important one. All right, these two are important one for the divisibility rule of 7. So these two are the conditions which are followed by the rule 7. So all the divisibility rule are now cleared, I think. Is there a divisibility rule conditions? You can ask. You may ask with me and any more. We have just discussed rule of 1, rule of 2, divisibility rule of 3 and 9, 4 and 8, and after that divisibility rule of 6, 7, 5 and 11. In this condition, we have to just rectify that. We will have to find a abstract which is 2 or minus 2. So these are the conditions when it is plus 4 plus 2 or it will minus 2, then this condition will be followed. Alright, just a second. This will be 2. Alright, this will be 2. So going to the next slide, because there is a time limit, I will not move forward within the next slides. So the time limit will be pardoned to me. We will discuss the next topics, which are what is, who is Greek, what did he do for the mathematics. That this will be taken. I will explain it. All right, 10 minutes. We will discuss it. So Euclid, the most important thing is who is he? Who was he? Sorry, who was he? There is an image of Euclid the Greek mathematician, I will naman him. All right. In the pioneer works, his name is, and if we are seeing the background of Mr. Euclid, we will find that he is a Greek writer. He is a Greek writer. All right. He is a Greek mathematical or Greek mathematician. All right. Euclid is a Greek mathematician, and Euclid was the first Greek mathematician who initiated a new way of thinking the studies of geometry. Basically, he had concluded and he had worked for the branch geometry. So, if we are taking that what are the pioneer effect, what are the pioneer works for the Euclid in the mathematics, we will find that he had done a lot of practices, lot of theories are given by him in the field of geometry. So above this, few of the peoples are also aware of there is A is missing here. Just a second. A is missing here, so it is aware. It is aware of his numerals theories. It is numerals theory. I will rectify it. It is numerals. I will take it to the numbers line. Just a second. It is wrong. Alright. Wrong could not be studied and wrong be studied. Wrong terms makes many confusions in understanding the topic, so we will rectify it. Few of the peoples are aware of his numerals theories also. Theories is written clearly in the right manner, so we will left it. So if we are talking about the some more important theories of Greek, we will find that he had also worked for the numerals or numerical values. Numerical steps. This chapter, the more important and the more pioneer work for Euclid, we will discuss and we will postulate different types of theories in the basis of that. So I am just talking about the Euclid lemma. What is Euclid lemma? I am just telling about the Euclid lemma. So if we are talking about the Euclid lemma, what is lemma here? Any one of you can tell what is lemma. In the previous classes, you have already about you have some of you have already learnt about Euclid lemma. What is the condition? What are the terms derivation? What are the different types of meaning for that? You can tell me. It is written here that lemma is a proven statement which is used to prove other statement. Does it mean? What does it mean? Can anyone tell me? If we are all right, I will tell, I will rectify it, and I will illustrate it in a deep condition. So if we are taking a lemma, the term lemma is what is lemma? Lemma is a proven statement. It is a justified statement which will work in understanding or in driving many of the theories, many of the statements, just like a Ramban for for every theories, the lemma will be work there. It is acting like a universal statement for every statement. For some of every statements, most of the statements which are related to it, he will it will sorry it will prove and definitely prove those theories, those conditions. So lemma is a proven statement which is used to prove other statements along with the theoretical concepts. So the lemma is the universal statement, universal term which is used to drive the theoretical concept which are related to any other conditions of the real number. Are you getting my point? All of you students, lemma is a proven statement. All right. So it will work for all those terms, all those theories which are related to it, and lemma there if we are talking the Euclid works in that theories, particular theory. So in that condition, lemma is also used. Lemma is so in taking and going to the next para, it is written here. Lemma was first recorded, which is important fact here. That lemma, just a second. Lemma is a lemma was first recorded in the book Seventh. Book Seventh. Euclid division algorithm is based on that lemma. So if we are discussing that the first ever use of lemma was recorded in the book Seventh of Euclid Elements. The book is written by Mr. Euclid, the mathematician of Greek. The Euclid term or the Euclid element of divisibility algorithm is based on the lemma. So he had written a book which is based on the division algorithm of so Euclid element, seeing that it is a book written by him. Euclid division algorithm is based on that lemma. In that book, he had described it. So I hope that this session will be useful for all of that. Alright, all of those students which are preparing for the competitive purpose along with the academic purpose. In this session, we have just discussed that what is real number, what is and what is the introduction of real numbers. We have discussed of different types of number. I have just also explained of not taking 11th 12th digit number, sorry. So after that we have just included the Euclid division lemma. In that condition we have also taken that what is Euclid introduction. In this condition we have also taken Euclid introduction. After that, in the next chapter, in the next lecture, we will take the different provement based on the Euclid lemma statement. So all those terms which are concluded in the first lecture may be rectified by asking the questions. You can rectify the questions and the concepts if you want to. Is there any confusion? Is there any query related to the today's lecture? You may ask. You are free to view your responses. Is there any doubt? I am showing you the slides which are described just now. Those students which have came lately, they can also see. All right. So in this condition, if we see the divisibility rule of 1, all those numbers which are divisible by itself and those numbers which divisible by any other, 1 is ultimate divisor of all those numbers, all those digits. In the 2th case, we will see that any even number is divisible by 2, and that 3 and 9, the digital sum will be divisible by 9, or in the 4th to 8, the second digit sum or the third digit sum is should be divisible by 4 or 8 for the condition. In this condition, this will be the explanation of that. You will see those students who are not able to take the live classes can also join us in the recorded session. They may also contact us in the chat section if there is any query in the sections or the lectures or any other queries related to the Teachment app. They can also write to me, and if they want to know about the Brahmdev classes of excellent education, what is the aim and what are the working process, so they may in every medium given the email IDs and the mobile numbers. You can contact me in the working hours. So I will definitely respond to you. There is no doubt. I will definitely respond to you. So feel free to write us what are the feedback of the classes given by me on the portal. One more thing I would like to say: if the COVID went, so we will study in the offline mode also. Till then, be tuned and connected with us for the betterment of your education and skill, knowledge, and whatever competitive aims of the desired goals or the desired competition. Alright, till then, stay happy, stay safe in the COVID situations, be in your home and study further. Enjoy yourself. Have a great day. Jai Hind.